Now, China has been accused of constructing hydel projects, several of them. In fact, yesterday we have the official word that 13 hydel projects measuring, or rather hydel projects that were to generate almost 750 megawatts.
So now we're going to show you a video, viewers, that actually explains to you how a massive chunk of glacier ice broke away on the China-Nepal border. It was close to China, and it caused a devastating wall of water racing towards the Gairong port. We access this video, we show you this, how it's an illustration, in fact, illustration of the flash floods, how it all began, viewers. And you see that this is the China-Nepal border, and it all began from that. Now, this is the river that came thundering down, and the Gairong port is also visible here. That was the area that is a major international land border and checkpoint between Tibet, China, and Nepal, and has suffered catastrophic damage. In fact, viewers, we also show you more visuals, satellite images from different places, from Kolhapur to other areas in Nepal, where you see the before and after, the situation before the flash floods and then the aftermath. It clearly shows the extent of devastation, graphically at least, as you can see. All right, viewers, as Republic TV's continuous and extensive coverage continues on the Nepal flash floods, it's time for a very, very short break. Don't go anywhere, as we also get you more updates on India's rescue mission. Total of over 50 tons of aid sent from India. Latest visuals show Indian Air Force plane sending the second contingent of relief material.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ, स्वाद आया? आया।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी बार एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ।
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला। चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है, स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और बरसान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
अभी तक की जो स्थिति है, घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है, सिर्फ सतर्क रहना है। रात भर हमारे अधिकारी चौकस रहेंगे और उम्मीद है कि स्थिति नियंत्रण से बाहर नहीं जाएगी।
इतनी बड़ी संख्या में लोग बह गए हैं, अभी उनका कुछ पता नहीं है कि जिंदा हैं या मर चुके हैं। और बिहार उस जो कि नेपाल उस एरिया से जुड़ा हुआ है, तो बिहार पर खतरा है और बिहार सरकार को अलर्ट हो जाना चाहिए उसका, ऐसा नहीं कि उसका असर हमारे यहाँ पड़े। लेकिन वो तो अफसोस की बात है, दुख की बात है। इस वक्त इतनी बड़ी जो हानि हुई है, हम लोग को चाहिए, भारत को चाहिए कि उनकी पूरी इस क्राइसिस में उनकी मदद करे।
अब इसमें कौन सी नई खबर? हर साल बिहार में बाढ़ की संकट मंडराती है, बिहार में बाढ़ आता है, सरकार बाढ़ के नाम पर लिपापोती करती है, फिर अगले साल बाढ़ आएगा।
का फटा उसका पानी जो तेजी से आ रहा था, उसके मद्देनजर हम लोगों ने पूरी तैयारी मुस्तैदी से कर ली है। और अभी तक की जो उम्मीद है कि वो पानी अभी हम लोगों को उम्मीद है कि अभी 7 बजे हम बात कर रहे हैं, 8:30-9 बजे तक हमारे वाल्मीकि नगर बराज पर तक पहुंचने की उम्मीद है। हर साल गंडक में आता है और हम लोगों ने पूरे वहां के लोगों को, आम जनता को भी बता दिया है कि सतर्क रहना है, घबराने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। स्थिति ऐसी नहीं है अभी तक जो दिख रहा है। वैसे पानी और मौसम का कोई नहीं जानता है कल क्या होगा, लेकिन अभी तक की जो स्थिति है, घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है, सिर्फ सतर्क रहना है। हम लोगों ने अलग से टीम बना के मुख्यालय से भी वहां भेज दिया है वाल्मीकि नगर। रात भर हमारे अधिकारी चौकस रहेंगे।
हमने प्रेस रिलीज भी जो है दिया है, सोशल मीडिया पे भी हमने अपनी बात को रखा है। और बिहार में भी जो है कई जगह जल स्तर जो है, चाहे गंगा नदी हो या गंडक, इसका जल स्तर जो है बढ़ता जा रहा है। हम लोग सरकार से यही आग्रह करते हैं कि सारी तैयारी जो है पूरी कर ली जाए, ताकि जब बाढ़ फ्लड की जो सिचुएशन हो तो आम लोगों को, ग्रामीणों को कोई दिक्कत ना हो। और उसको लेकर के हम सब लोग जो है डेली जो है हम लोग फीडबैक भी ले रहे हैं कि कहाँ कौन कौन नदियों का जो है जल स्तर जो है बढ़ता जा रहा है। लेकिन नेपाल में जो तबाही आई है, जिस तरह का दृश्य हम लोगों ने देखा है, उसको देखते हुए हम लोगों को अलर्ट रहने की जरूरत है।
बाढ़ से हम स्वास्थ्य के क्षेत्र में जो भी है, हम बाढ़ से बचाव के लिए हम काफ़ी कुछ कर रहे हैं। 60 तरह का मेडिसिन की व्यवस्था हमने की है। जो भी गर्भवती महिलाएं हैं, उन्हें भी बाढ़ हो जाए, या फिर शिशु हैं, या फिर आपके जो भी विकलांग हैं या फिर गंभीर रोग से ग्रसित हैं, उनके लिए हमने स्थान चिन्हित कर लिया है कि कहाँ उनका इलाज कराना है। फिर हमने आपके चिकित्सा दल हो, चिकित्सक हो, नर्स हो, एनएम पैरामेडिकल हो, सबका व्यवस्था किया है। और अगर बाढ़ के क्षेत्र में महामारी आती है तो उस क्षेत्र के लिए भी स्वास्थ्य विभाग तैयार है। हम जो भी बन पड़ेगा जनता के लिए बाढ़ के आने से, तो हम उसके लिए पूरे तरह से तैयार हैं।
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Meta has agreed to pay as much as $16.68 billion to settle claims that Facebook and Instagram were designed to be addictive to children. The settlement involves 29 US states and could bring an end.
China's blame Nepal conspiracy. Rampant Chinese construction to blame. China responsible for tragedy. Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
Presenting by Zoho Business Software, trusted by 15 crore users. Berger Paints, Rang Bana Rahe. Powered by Century HTF Premium Plus, Hare Bhote ka asli boss. Co-powered by SBI General Insurance, चुनिए भरोसा अपनों सा।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो।
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
मसाला।
AU करंट अकाउंट के साथ मिलता है फ्री UPI QR ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी और एक ही ऐप से बैंक के सारे काम। AU
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ और
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया? आया।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Meta has agreed to pay as much as $16.68 billion to settle claims that Facebook and Instagram were designed to be addictive to children. The settlement involves 29 US states and could bring an end to one of the biggest legal tests yet of whether social media companies deliberately put young users at risk. The states accused Meta of designing Facebook and Instagram in ways that encourage children to spend more time on the platforms. They also alleged that Meta misled consumers about the safety of its services and improperly collected personal information from children. Meta has denied wrongdoing and agreed to settle the claims. As part of the settlement, Meta will introduce daily usage limits for children using Facebook and Instagram. The company will also restrict nighttime use and strengthen measures intended to prevent children from accessing age-restricted content. The case also involves a much bigger question about children's privacy. The states allege that Meta collected personal data from users it knew were children without properly notifying parents or obtaining the required consent. They also allege that this data was used to train machine learning and generative AI models. That means the dispute isn't only about how much time children spend scrolling. It is also about what happens to the information they generate while they're on the platforms. The settlement also resolves separate privacy lawsuits brought by California, Illinois, New Mexico, and Washington, D.C. Those claims were connected to the Cambridge Analytica scandal, in which millions of Facebook users had their personal data collected by the consulting firm. Those states will receive $459.3 million to resolve those lawsuits. Meta has long argued that it could not have misled consumers by calling its services addictive because social media addiction is not recognized as a psychiatric condition. But the legal fight has now ended in a settlement rather than a final trial verdict. That distinction is important. The company has not admitted that it deliberately designed Facebook or Instagram to harm children. Instead,
from Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Hello viewers, you're watching Republic. I'm Chongtham Amrita, and in Nepal, floods continue to wreak havoc. In fact, India has stepped up its efforts for relief and rescue operations and has sent 50 tons of relief materials to Nepal. In fact, Republic is also live on the ground, reporting from ground zero and taking a look at what had exactly happened and the rescue efforts that are going on in Nepal. But first, take a look at the headlines.
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Death toll in Nepal rises to 359,000, still remain missing. Ministry of External Affairs confirms 288 Indians affected by the floods in Nepal are unreachable. The largest news team in Nepal from Republic. 8 reporters giving us latest updates from the flood-hit regions only on Republic. The Chinese state-run media on overdrive to blame Nepal for the devastating flash floods. Even after global experts confirmed China glacial collapse triggered the floods. A total of over 50 tons of aid sent from India. Latest visuals show 2 IAF planes carrying the second contingent of relief materials. Now, viewers, the flash floods in Nepal has claimed at least 359 lives as per the latest updates, and even more missing. Roads and bridges have been swept away, villages submerged underwater, and many people left homeless in one night. Such was the sight after the deadly flash floods have hit Nepal. In fact, in the latest report by the USGS, they claim that the flash floods were not caused by an earthquake, but by a landslide which triggered the glacial landslide that triggered the earthquake. In fact, now India and Nepal have also intensified their search and rescue operations in this. India has in fact sent nearly 50 tons of humanitarian assistance, showing that Bharat stands shoulder to shoulder with Nepal during these tough times. These are some of the before and after. In fact, these are some of the devastating visuals of the havoc that was created, that was wreaked in this flash floods in Nepal. You can see people scrambling to run away to save themselves. So you can see visuals of houses that was built, swept in an instant, bridges collapsed, and even causing even more landslides due to the flood. And these are another visual where a wall of mud was seen swept away by the flood, by a ravaging flood that was unstoppable when it was the flash floods in Nepal. Several other visuals also, you can see several areas, residential areas and buildings reduced to dust and buried under the debris of the flash floods. My colleague Sarthak is live from Nepal, reporting to us, giving us the ground zero report from where the flash floods took place. Sarthak, I would like to know the detail from you. What's the status right now? What is in front of your eyes? And we have seen that there are several rescue operations, even though people are coming together to identify and pull out more people. And can you tell us more what you are picking up at the moment from the ground?
Well, absolutely, Amrita. Before this, we were at the Trishula army base where there was massive rescue operation going on. You can see the visuals, the helicopters are still flying by. People are being rescued. I would also request my video journalist to pan the camera and just show our viewers what is left after the flash flood has completely destroyed this area. You can see the buildings have been completely destroyed. There is massive destruction that can be witnessed. You can see that this place, this entire area has been completely destroyed. You can see the leftover sediments, the high flood marks still left. You can see right over there. What has this flash flood caused? Buildings have destroyed. We can see trucks stuck under the mud. We can see how massive this entire flash flood must have been. The sediments give us that evidence, how destructive and how devastating this flash flood must have been. We even got the opportunity to speak to some of the locals over here who told us that it was very difficult. Some people got stuck over there. They were rescued immediately. Some people were stuck in a different region. However, we are giving you a top visual exclusively on Republic TV's camera. We are the first one to capture this top angle shot of what is left of the flash flood, the sediments, the high flood marks that you can see, the destruction that you can witness on our camera. This is exclusively on Republic TV. This place was completely destroyed. It has been completely evacuated. Not even a single soul can be seen in any of these buildings. And this is something that you're getting exclusively on Republic TV's camera. Amrita.
Arthur, can you give us a visual description of how many buildings are there and the scale of destruction of the buildings, how many people were there living earlier when you took the report, and currently what's the status of them? Can you describe a visual description of how the current status of the buildings are right now after the destruction?
Well, absolutely, Amrita. You can see the leftover sediments, the buildings. This was probably the first floor of the building that you're seeing on my right. That's the first floor of the building. And you can see what would have been the scale of the flash flood, the height, the depth, how far it had reached. It had reached nearly the first floor of the building. And you can see the leftover residue, the mud that is still stuck there, the buildings, the trucks. The entire road has been completely devastated. It is also important to mention this was a parallel road which was running parallel to the Trishula river that you can see. You can see on a camera. That's the Trishula river. That is where the flash flood actually occurred, and there was a parallel road, and it is completely destroyed. It's full of mud, leftover residue, the sediments, the flash flood marks that are still left. You can see that. I would also request my video journalist to pan the camera on my right. You can see how almost completely that building has been destroyed. At least the ground floor and the first floor. That has completely been destroyed, completely destructed. You can see there is not even a single person in any of these buildings. This entire place has been completely evacuated, and this gives us enough evidence that how massive this flash flood must have been and what could have been the gravity of the situation at the point when this event actually occurred. Amrita.
That's right, Sarthak, in fact, Trishuli being one of the worst hit in the flash floods that occurred in Nepal. And these are some of the scale of destruction, and we can still see the water gushing through. And it seems that the river is completely swollen even at this point, even after a day after the flash floods that have caused massive destructions in this area, Trishuli being one of the worst hit as well. In fact, we also have a report that my colleague Sarthak, in fact, filed from the ground, and at what the status and also the rescue operations, and also how the state and the region is coming together to carry out the rehabilitation and the rescue efforts. Let's take a look at that.
Devastating flood has affected multiple parts of Nepal, including Rasua, Nuwakot, Gorkha. What appeared to be an earthquake turned out to be a glacier breakdown, which caused this massive blockade of Trishuli river, which has eventually affected in this massive flood, which has completely destroyed the nearby infrastructure, has taken a lot of lives. What the reports that we are coming across is that nearly 200 Indians are also missing. Multiple people have lost their lives. The Nepalese army is actually carrying out this massive rescue operation, trying to save people. Multiple foreigners, multiple Nepalese people are missing. At the same time, the Indian government is also assisting and helping Nepal government in this rescue operation. So far, what we know of, nearly 10 tons of relief and medical equipments have been supplied to Nepal. And now we are here. Republic is here in Kathmandu in Nepal. You can see behind me is the Kathmandu city, and we are going to these flood affected areas. The nearest area, the nearest place, the nearest flood-affected area to the Kathmandu city is Nuwakot. We are nearly 2 hours away from that Nuwakot area.
नेपाल में आई बाढ़ के बीच में भीषण तबाही का मंजर देखने को मिल रहा है। इस वक्त हम नेपाल के चितवान में मौजूद हैं और चितवान में अगर आप देखें तो ये नदी का वो हिस्सा है जहां से बहाव तेज होकर आगे जाता है और चितवन में ही करीब 64 लोगों की डेड बॉडी जो है अभी तक रिकवर की गई है। आंकड़े और भी ज़्यादा बढ़ सकते हैं और नदी का प्रवाह जो है वो किस तरीके का रहा है अगर आप तस्वीरों में देखें तो देख सकते हैं कि ये जो पुल के पास का जो हिस्सा है पानी का बहाव कितने तेज है वहां पर अगर आप देखें तो देखिए कि कैसे नदी का जो पानी है वो पुल के पिलर्स पर लग रहा है और इससे आप इस बात का अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं कि कैसे जब ये तबाही आई होगी तो क्या कुछ मंजर यहाँ पर रहा होगा। यहाँ पर भी उसके कुछ निशान जो है देखने को मिल रहे हैं अगर आप देखें तो बड़े बड़े पेड़ यहाँ पर और उसी के साथ साथ दूसरे मलबे अभी तक यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं। इसी के साथ अगर आप देखें तो ये वो पूरा हिस्सा है जो तिब्बत की तरफ से आता है और इसी हिस्से से ये पानी आगे बढ़ता हुआ काठमांडू और उसके बाद फिर दूसरे नेपाल के जिलों में जाता है। और अगर यहाँ पर देखें तो अभी भी यहाँ पर तबाही का वो मंजर देखने को मिल रहा है जहाँ पर बड़ी संख्या में जो इस तबाही के दौरान पेड़ या फिर दूसरे चीज़ें आई थी वो यहाँ पर किनारे में देखने को मिल रही हैं। और ऐसे ही कई हिस्से हैं अगर हम चितवन की बात करें या फिर उसके आसपास के ज़िलों की बात करें या फिर ये नदी जो है आगे जहाँ तक बढ़ती है वहाँ की बात करें, ऐसे या इससे ज़्यादा तबाही के मंजर देखने को मिल रहे हैं।
And viewers, Republic also reached out to some of the locals in the affected area. Take a look at this exclusive report filed by Tika Bahadur Karki from Gandakot in Nawalpur in Nepal. Take a look.
हेलो हाय एवरीबॉडी, आप सबको मेरा नमस्कार है। अभी नेपाल में जो त्रिशूली नदी है इसमें 9 नारेडी जमा होता है, 9 नदी जमा होती है। यहाँ से कम 200 किलोमीटर दूर रसुआ जो गढ़ी है 200-250 किलोमीटर दूर है लगभग अंदाज में। रसुआ जो है चाइना और नेपाल का जो बॉर्डर था वहाँ पे जितने भी मतलब चेकिंग के गाड़ियाँ थी और ऑफिस था और हाइड्रो पावर था वो सारे बहा के यही रास्ते से लेकर आई है नदी। और यहाँ पे काफ़ी सारे लाश पड़े हुए थे। सुबह हमने पुलिस को तहकीकात करके उनके पहचान के लिए दिया है तो दिन में यहाँ से लाश उठाई गई, मैं नहीं था तब यहाँ पे इतने सारे मलबा आके बैठा है। ये लकड़ियाँ और ढेर सारे लाशें थे, यहाँ के 3-4 लाश थे। कल हमने कम से कम 5 लाश को पुलिस के सामने दर्शाया था कि यहाँ पे भी लाश आया है। ऐसे जगह जगह से बहुत जगह से लाश आने की मतलब ये समाचार आया हुआ है। तो ये जगह है गैंडाकोट, इस एरिया गैंडाकोट नौलपुर बोलते हैं, नौलपरासी एरिया। उस पार जो है नारायणगढ़ है, उस पार नारायणगढ़ है, यहाँ से नारायणगढ़ शुरू होता है। तो यह नदी है फैला हुआ है, नीचे से काफ़ी फैला हुआ है। वो तो जगह जगह में जो है लाशें ले जाके ठहराया हुआ है नदी ने। तो लाशें ढूंढ करके पब्लिक ने पुलिस को हस्तांतरण कर रहे हैं। तो वही सिलसिला में हम भी सुबह दिन में थे तो अभी हम अपने घर में काम से गए थे तो अभी मालूम पड़ा कि यहाँ से लाश जा चुकी है। अभी पुलिस चौकी में पुलिस ने अभी जहाँ हॉस्पिटल में या कहीं ठहराएंगे और वहाँ पे पहचान वाले को हस्तांतरण करेंगे। तो यही नदी है जो इसमें 9 नदी मिलती है जिसमें भोटे कोशी और त्रिशूली में जो घटना हुआ वहाँ पे जो सैलाब मेन सैलाब आया वो कुछ लैंडस्लाइड होने से नदी 5 दिन से बंद था। वो 5 दिन से बंद होने के कारण इतना भर गया कि वो जैसा छूटा वैसा कम से कम 150 मीटर 200 मीटर ऊपर से नदी के अपने एरिया कवर करके जब उफान पर आई, काफ़ी उफान पर, तो सारे बहा के लगे गई। 3-4 गांव लेके गया, 3-4 शहर लेके गया, 2 पुलिस चौकी लेके गया, 1 आर्मी कैंप लेके गया और 6-7 हाइड्रो पावर लेके गया। कम से कम आपका 20 बड़े बड़े पुल लेके गया। तो इधर ही इस एरिया में कहीं पे दफनाया हुआ है वो जो जगह है, कहीं टायर मिल रहे हैं, कहीं गाड़ी मिल रही है, कहीं तो कुछ मिल रहा था। तो मैं अभी दूर नहीं जा सकता दिखाने के लिए। कल मैं इसका फुल अपडेट दूंगा पूरा मतलब घूम के। आज थोड़ा सा आपके लिए इतना ही जानकारी देना चाहता हूँ कि यहाँ से काफ़ी दूर तक लाशें पड़ी हुई थी, पुलिस ने उसको कवर कर चुके हैं। तो धन्यवाद। आज मैं इतना ही बताना चाहता हूँ कि ये नदी जो है इतनी उफान पर होती है। ये डायरेक्ट गंडक नदी बोलते हैं इसको, इंडिया में जाने के बाद गंडक नदी यहाँ पे देवघाट से जब इधर आती है ये नारायणी नदी बोला जाता है, नवनारायणी। ये वहाँ से काफ़ी नदी मिलती है जब आती है, नेपाल के मिडिल पार्ट की नदी है ये। मुस्ताङ से और त्रिशुली से और इधर से आती है ये सेती पोखरा से। ये नदी बहुत बड़ी होती है जब टाइम पे। कभी इसका फाटक होता है कि ये आपका भैंसालोटन, नेपाल भारत का बॉर्डर जो भैंसालोटन है वहाँ पे 36 फाटक है। वो फाटक खुलता है जब इंडिया में ये नदी जाती है। तो ये नदी इतने भयानक भयावह रूप से आती है उसका कोई हिसाब नहीं। देखिए ये नदी का नज़ारा है। ये एक भी लकड़ी यहाँ पे नहीं थी, एक भी लकड़ी कल परसों एक भी लकड़ी नहीं थी सुबह तक। ये शाम को 3 बजे यहाँ पे आई है। 3 बजे के बाद जब मछलियाँ तड़पना शुरू हुआ और लकड़ियाँ आनी शुरू हुई तो लाशें भी मिलना शुरू हुआ। यहाँ से काफ़ी नीचे कम से कम 50 किलोमीटर दूर तक पूरे लाशें मिल रहा था। कम से कम भी 50,000 से ज़्यादा मरने की आशंका है, लेकिन लोग का कोई ठिकाना नहीं है कि कितना है, क्योंकि शहर और गांव एक ही साथ बहा, कुछ मालूम ही नहीं पड़ा, इतना हुआ।
In fact, my colleague Sarthak continues to join us. Sarthak, can you give us more details again? We would like to know about the rescue operations. We know Trishuli Army Base Camp is now the center point of carrying out rescue and relief operations. We have seen earlier how they have formed that as survivors have also been gathered there. Can you tell us a bit more into how many survivors have been rescued so far and how is the relief operation going on at the moment?
Well, Amrita, we do not have an official confirmation as to what is the exact number of survivors and how many people have been rescued so far. But one thing is for sure, the Trishula Army Base, which is the dedicated army base where people are being brought back once they have been rescued, once they have been airlifted from the flood-struck regions, they are being brought back to the Trishula Army Base. But so far, we do not have an official confirmation. But it goes to show that the rescue operation is being carried out at the maximum pace, and you can see the visuals. We are exclusively showing it on our Republic TV camera from a top angle. This is the leftover sediments of the flash flood. You can see the debris marks over there. You can see how massive the flood must have been. Like if I show you that building, that red building, that's nearly a 3-story building. And nearly the lower 2 floors, the ground floor and the first floor, is completely drowned in mud. It goes to show how massive, what must have been the height of the flood. This entire place is completely destroyed. This road, which runs parallel to the Trishula River, which is the exact river where this flash flood occurred, this entire road is filled with mud. It's completely destroyed. This same building, it's nearly a 2-story building, but the lower ground floor and the first floor is completely drowned under mud. I would also request my video journalist to pan the camera to the left and show our viewers that particular truck. You can see the condition in which that truck is. It's almost drowned in blood. It goes to show that this flood, how massive this flood must have been. People did not even get enough time to escape from this area. There is not even a single soul. This entire area has been completely evacuated. We even have a word with some locals which shared us some information about how massive this flood was, and some people did not even get time to just escape and evacuate the area on time. You can see the flow of the water is still heavy. It goes to show what and how massive it must have been when the actual flash flood occurred in this particular area. That particular building, it's completely destroyed, stuck under mud. That building is completely destroyed. This entire area is completely devastated, and not even a single soul is present at that point. The rescue operation, you can see the helicopters are flying by. The rescue operation is being carried out at a massive pace, where this is not the first time. I would also request a video journalist to pan the camera over there. There is another helicopter over there. And this is not the first round. These helicopters have been making round about 5 to 6 rounds in every 15-20 minutes. And every time they are filled with some 4 to 5 people. So it goes to show the massive rescue operation that is being carried out by the Nepal government. The Nepal government is also being assisted by the Indian government, where medical facilities and other supplies are being provided by the Indian government. The information that we have received, nearly 10 tons of supplies have been provided by Indian government to the Nepal government so far. And this rescue operation is being carried out at a very, very massive pace. However, the visual goes to show that you're seeing exclusively on Republic TV's camera that this place is completely devastated. Amrita.
That's right. In fact, these are exclusive visuals. The Republic is on the ground in Trishuli and reporting, and these are the scale of destruction that has been caused by the massive flash floods that has been triggered by the glacial collapse. And these are some of the buildings that have completely resembles a post-apocalyptic scene where there's not a soul there present, and all of the buildings, the lower floors are completely covered in mud and debris and sediments from the upstream river that has been carried. And you can see some of the facade of the buildings completely destroyed as well. And we just saw how the helicopter was carrying out and airlifting whoever was survived and carrying the rescue operations to the base camp, to the nearest base camp that we have been told that Trishuli base camp is serving as the main rescue site and providing relief operations and rescue operations as well. And with that, we take a very short break, but we'll be right back with more updates on the other side. Coming up next, the Chinese state-run media on overdrive to blame Nepal for the devastating flash floods after global experts have confirmed China glacial collapse have triggered the floods. Coming up next.
रंग 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 रंगीन रे देखो कैसे भी हो दिन रंग बना रहे बोझ पेंट्स रंग बना रहे रंग 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 रंगीन रे देखो कैसे भी हो दिन रंग बना रहे रंग रंग रंगीन रे देखो कैसे भी हो दिन रंग बना रहे रंग रंग रंगीन रे रंग बना रहे बोझ पेंट्स रंग बना रहे
कुछ तो सस्ता लो
सब बढ़िया लो
इसमें क्या खास बात है
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट अब बताओ स्वाद आया
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ।
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट
क्या बात है स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और बरसान अरे चंकी चाट है इसकी जान
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट
Electricity bill paid.
Really?
Your mobile recharge is done.
How?
Make all kinds of payments using the Bheem Payments app and get cashback of up to ₹300 every month. Use Bheem app to pay.
It's the Mahi way.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला। चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
अभी तक की जो स्थिति है घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है, सिर्फ सतर्क रहना है। रात भर हमारे अधिकारी चौकस रहेंगे और उम्मीद है कि इस
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो।
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
AU करंट अकाउंट के साथ मिलता है फ्री UPI QR ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी और एक ही ऐप से बैंक के सारे काम। AU
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया? आया।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
रानी इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
सेनको से मेरा नाता सालों पुराना है। ये मेरे लिए बस एक ब्रांड नहीं है, ये है एक लेगेसी। मेरी शादी के कंगन सेनको से ही लिए थे, क्योंकि ऐसी बारीक कारीगरी और कहाँ। इसीलिए सेनको इंडिया का
Amongst most trusted jewelry brand, as nominated by the TRA.
अब मैं क्या ही बोलूं।
परिवार, अटूट भरोसा। चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट।
स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और बरसान, अरे चंकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
Electricity bill paid.
Really?
Your mobile recharge is done.
How?
Make all kinds of payments using the Bheem Payments app and get cashback of up to ₹300 every month. Use Bheem app to pay.
It's the Mahi way.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Meta has agreed to pay as much as $16.68 billion to settle claims that Facebook and Instagram were designed to be addictive to children. The settlement involves 29 US states and could bring an end to one of the biggest legal tests yet of whether social media companies
Very warm welcome, viewers. You're watching Republic TV's special coverage, the most extensive coverage on the Nepal flash floods. The death toll continues to rise, and we also closely track what's happening on the Chinese side. Are the Chinese construction activities to be blamed? Because China is clearly shifting the blame to Nepal. We'll get you more on that, but first the headlines.
Headlines brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Death toll in Nepal rises to 359. At least 359 dead. Thousands still remain missing. Ministry of External Affairs confirms 288 Indians affected by the floods in Nepal are unreachable. The largest news team in Nepal from Republic, 8 reporters giving you the latest updates from the flood-hit regions only on Republic TV. Chinese state-run media on an overdrive to blame Nepal for the devastating flash floods after global experts confirm China glacial collapse triggered the floods. A total of over 50 tons of aid sent from India. Latest visuals show 2 Indian Air Force planes carrying the second contingent of relief materials. All right, viewers, the Chinese state-run media is on an overdrive to blame Nepal for the flash floods. Now, this comes even after the USGS and global experts confirmed that China glacial collapse had triggered the flood. But the Chinese state media and military are continuously trying to blame Nepal for the tragedy. The Chinese state-run media and the Chinese mouthpiece are claiming that the mudslides originated in Nepalese side. But the irony here is that the global experts are laying the blame on Chinese construction overdrive. It is blamed by the experts. And in a sense, you see that China is once again covering its construction activities' truth by trying to pin the blame on Nepal. In fact, we will show you more, updates as far as the concerns for India are also concerned. We are being joined by geopolitical expert, strategic affairs expert, Dr. Brahmachalani. Thank you so much, Dr. Chalani, for joining us on Republic TV, sir. We've seen that there have been the issue of the Medog Dam. I will come straight to that, and then we'll talk about what China is doing when it blames Nepal for what's happening. But, sir, the concerns for India are also very, very key, that you've also time and again pointed out, because such a situation, God forbid, can be triggered if China goes ahead with some more dams that it is planning. Even the monster dam, as it's being touted, the Medog Dam, that is near Arunachal Pradesh. That is a big cause of concern. China maintains no transparency, of course, but we have seen, and even the center has acknowledged that there is a threat.
The Himalayas are the world's most seismically active mountain range. They're constantly under pressure because the Indian tectonic plate is colliding with the Eurasian plate. This is a slow motion collision. And because of this slow motion collision, the Himalayan range remains under constant pressure. To make matters worse, the Himalayan terrain is among the most geologically fragile and unstable terrains anywhere in the world. So given that background, and given what's happened in Nepal because of upstream construction, the upstream construction by China did not cause the natural disaster, but the natural disaster was amplified. It was exacerbated by Chinese hydrological modifications and other works near Tibet's border with Nepal. That serves as a warning, because what China is doing now by building the super dam is something on a gigantic scale. It's trying to do something far bigger than what it has done on the Tibet-Nepal border. So given that background, I think we need to be really concerned about that super dam that is coming up. In fact, China's own scientists have published a paper recently in a Chinese state-linked journal in which they clearly underscore the major geological risks that this super dam poses. They, in fact, go on to warn that the construction site's terrain has loose structure and weak cohesion.
Right, sir. And this is the result. We are seeing this tragedy unfold live before us. What's happening in Nepal? The world is watching these devastating scenes from Nepal. And while we see that the Chinese mouthpiece are now trying to cover up, and they are saying that it was just a mudslide in Nepal. And while there are, Nepalese publications are also saying that there have been activities going on in China, many also expressing the disappointment that nobody is going to talk about what China has been doing. And do you feel that there can be any which way that China could be held accountable? And even when we talk in India's context, can there be any sort of means of counter that can be deployed?
Let's look at first the Nepal part. Okay, we know it's confirmed that this particular disaster was caused by a glacial failure that triggered a series of cascading events. But the key question is, why did the cascading impacts occur? Why were the downstream impacts so destructive? The answer lies in the cumulative effect of Chinese upstream infrastructure, including altered river channels and the absence of any meaningful transboundary cooperation with Nepal. China has a pretty close relationship with Kathmandu, yet China did not provide any emergency warning to Nepal about the upstream water swell or about the debris dam formation or other anomalies that happened. Had China provided an immediate emergency notification of sudden water level spikes and other upstream anomalies, this could have helped Nepal to evacuate people from vulnerable areas, potentially reducing the death toll. So, forget about Chinese upstream infrastructure, but even the transboundary responsibility of sharing data and providing an emergency warning in time, even that did not happen. It speaks poorly about China's willingness to fulfill its obligations under international law. Under international law, transboundary responsibility is regarded as essential to any transboundary river basin. So by not fulfilling that basic responsibility, China is responsible, at least one can say it's responsible for compounding Nepal's disaster.
You also feel that that Beijing did not warn Nepal in time?
Yes, did not provide any emergency notification to Nepal about the rise of water levels upstream or about the torrent of debris that was hurtling down the upstream valleys. No notification was provided to Nepal. And that's the reason why the death toll in Nepal has been pretty high. In fact, this particular disaster has left a vast trail of death and destruction. It has shattered hydropower stations. It has swept away roads, bridges, and other infrastructure. It will require years of investment by Nepal to rebuild this infrastructure.
Right, sir. Many thanks, Dr. Chelani, for joining us on Republic TV and with your insights and assessment of the situation there, viewers. It's a great cause of concern, viewers, for the neighbors, because not just Nepal is a neighboring country, but even for India, viewers, we are continuing to show you what's really happening on ground, as well as with our reporters. We are showing you the flood-hit regions of Nepal, as the death toll is now ticking, and there are many more that are still missing. Thousands are missing. 359 lives have already been lost. Roads and bridges have been swept away and villages have been submerged underwater. Many people left homeless. And this is the sight, viewers, after the deadly flash floods hit Nepal. You can see the visual, how the house comes falling and it is swept away. And viewers, we clearly see that there are many foreign nationals. 288 Indians are missing, and many from other countries are also missing. And Mingmar Tamang is joining us from UAE. He tragically lost his family member in Nepal. Mr. Tamang, appreciate you joining us in such a moment, and all the condolences with you. But tell us, what did you learn about your family member, and what do you know about the situation?
I didn't have any idea. I was at work, then I saw the news suddenly. This happened. Very sad. And yeah, we are very sad. Everything is gone.
Yes. Where was your relative, if you could share with us, and what was his location, and did you try to contact, were you able to find any contact, and how did you get to know about what has happened with him?
Yeah, this is the exact location that flood was hit, you know. My family members, luckily they are safe, but some relatives, we lost some relatives, and there is so many people missing. Yeah, and it's very hard to contact them. There is no network, there is no electricity.
Yeah, so was he working there, or was he visiting the country, Nepal?
No, my family, they stay there. I'm working here in UAE, and it's very hard for me to watch like this.
Yes. Have you been able to contact the embassy and your family members, or any communication with the authorities, the embassy there?
We are trying. No, luckily there was one time there was one of my cousin came online. Then he gave me information that my family are safe. After that, I was so worried before. Then I tried to contact them, cannot contact them. We have lost everything. Our land, our house, everything is gone.
Where in Nepal, sir?
My home is a bit far from there, but my relatives, they were staying exactly in Trishuli.
So you had your family there, and there is no communication also that is happening. What we understand from our Ministry of External Affairs also, that the communication is very difficult right now.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and there's no network. There is no electricity.
What about the help that has been deployed? And there are, of course, forces, the disaster relief forces, and there is help being sent. So anything you know about that? What is happening? How difficult or challenging it has been to receive help also?
It's very difficult for us. Yeah, there is a news that there is a relief fund are coming, but still, yeah, maybe on the way, but still not yet. Our government is trying, maybe, but it's very hard right now. It's very tragic right now.
Yes, indeed, it's very tragic, and those visuals we see, of course, show that it's completely a sudden surge that nobody could have thought of, or nobody could have even reacted. And the saddest part is that innocent lives have been lost. There has been complete destruction of villages, and there is warnings that are being now issued that there could be another dam break, is what is being now alerted from the Chinese side. So, did you have any information on anything that anything that could be happening, or what was the first information that you got?
For me, I didn't have any information. Even the news, I saw it on Facebook. because I was already at work. Then, yeah, I saw the news on Facebook, and I tried to contact my family, my sisters. They were staying in Trishuli there. Then, like 1-2 hours, I couldn't contact them. I was so worried. Then after like 1-2 hours, one of my cousin he texts in the like a group, family member group. Then he said they are safe, but there is some relatives who have lost and everything, our stuffs, our land, our home, everything is gone. Our relatives' home. Some of my friends are still missing. There is no news at all.
There's no news, and so you've did any of your family member try to, who are away from Nepal or the flood-hit regions, have they been able to contact any of the authorities there, the helpline numbers?
I didn't try that way, but luckily one time I talked to my sisters. That's one time. Then after that, I've been waiting. There is no electricity, so they cannot use their phone. It's out of charge. Yeah, and there is no. They say there is information that there is no network at all. I cannot call, and we are far away. Then what to do? Only the pray we have.
Right. Mr. Tamang,
I keep praying that everything will be fine.
Yes, Mr. Tamang, we also pray that all your loved ones are safe and everybody is safe. It's a very challenging time, and we appreciate you that you took out some time in such dire times and spoke to us. All the we pray for all the strength to you and your families. Thank you so much, Mr. Tamang, for joining us on Republic TV. And viewers, while we talk about the humanitarian crisis, could this have been avoided? Could this have been prevented? Is the big question, viewers. And what's really happening as far as the construction activities is concerned? And this is not just a worry. What has happened in Nepal is before everybody. But viewers, why even India should be concerned is because there's a monster dam called the Medok Dam that is a ticking time bomb. It's a bomb that is ticking. It's built in Tibet's Great Bend before the river enters India. And concerns have been flagged regarding this earlier as well. And the water flows and the security is something that India is concerned. This is the Yarlung Sangpo that flows from Tibet into Arunachal Pradesh. It is known as Siang, then it becomes the Brahmaputra as it moves through Assam and then eventually enters Bangladesh. And that Medong Dam that China is building is located in one of the most dramatic sections, viewers, of the Sangpo, the Yarlung Sangpo, where the river makes a huge U-turn and the river descends sharply. And then, viewers, the cascading hydropower station that China is developing, it could be a big cause for India as well. The northeast part of India, viewers, it poses a threat to that region as well. So we continue to bring you more updates and insights, viewers, on that. But right now, that's all the time we could pack in this edition of the news. But our coverage on the Nepal flash floods, the tragedy, the humanitarian crisis, and the aid that is being sent from Bharat, we get you everything on that on the other side.
Co-powered by Crystal Crop Protection, देश का किसान, देश का हीरो।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो।
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
Electricity bill paid.
Really?
Your mobile recharge is done.
How?
Make all kinds of payments using the Bheem Payments app and get cashback of up to ₹300 every month. Use Bheem app to pay.
It's the Mahi way.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया? आया।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी बार एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
AU सेविंग्स अकाउंट में मिलते हैं अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स, पेपरलेस बैंकिंग एंड हायर इंटरेस्ट, वो भी हर महीने।
मनी 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 एवरी मंथ। सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और बरसान, अरे चंकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ।
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
अभी तक की जो स्थिति है, घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है, सिर्फ सतर्क रहना है। रात भर हमारे अधिकारी चौकस रहेंगे और उम्मीद है कि स्थिति नियंत्रण से बाहर नहीं जाएगी।
इतनी बड़ी संख्या में लोग बह गए हैं, अभी उनका कुछ पता नहीं है कि जिंदा हैं या मर चुके हैं। और बिहार उस जो कि नेपाल उस एरिया से जुड़ा हुआ है, तो बिहार पर खतरा है और बिहार सरकार को अलर्ट हो जाना चाहिए उसका, ऐसा नहीं कि उसका असर हमारे यहाँ पड़े। लेकिन वो तो अफसोस की बात है, दुख की बात है, इस वक्त इतनी बड़ी जो हानि हुई है, हम लोग को चाहिए, भारत को चाहिए कि उनकी पूरी
Chinese state-run media on an overdrive to blame Nepal for the devastating flash floods. Global experts claim that China's construction activities triggered the floods.
Co-powered by Crystal Crop Protection, देश का किसान, देश का हीरो।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े, चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
Electricity bill paid.
Really?
Your mobile recharge is done.
How?
Make all kinds of payments using the Bheem Payments app and get cashback of up to ₹300 every month. Use Bheem app to pay.
It's the Mahi way.
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो।
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
हीरे के लिए मुझे भरोसा है सिर्फ सेनको गोल्डन डायमंड्स पर, क्योंकि सिर्फ सेनको देता है सर्टिफाइड डायमंड्स, बायबैक फैसिलिटी और 100% एक्सचेंज वैल्यू, साथ में लाइफ टाइम मेंटेनेंस, फ्री इंश्योरेंस। तो अब डायमंड्स खरीदने से पहले सेनको में जरूर आना।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ स्वाद आया? आया।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
AU करंट अकाउंट के साथ मिलता है फ्री UPI QR ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी और एक ही ऐप से बैंक के सारे काम। AU
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बनाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और बरसान, अरे चंकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Meta has agreed to pay as much as $16.68 billion to settle claims that Facebook and Instagram were designed to be addictive to children. The settlement involves 29 US states and could bring an end to one of the biggest legal tests yet of whether social media companies deliberately put young users at risk. The states accused Meta of designing Facebook and Instagram in ways that encourage children to spend more time on the platforms. They also alleged that Meta misled consumers about the safety of its services and improperly collected personal information from children. Meta has denied wrongdoing and agreed to settle the claims. As part of the settlement, Meta will introduce daily usage limits for children using Facebook and Instagram. The company will also restrict nighttime use and strengthen measures intended to prevent children from accessing age-restricted content. The case also involves a much bigger question about children's privacy. The states allege that Meta collected personal data from users it knew were children without properly notifying parents or obtaining the required consent. They also allege that this data was used to train machine learning and generate.
Pro-Islamic lobby targets Bhagwat's event. Hindu community fights back in New York. Bhagwat in America, wokes get edgy. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
Presented by Amity University, ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally. Berger Paints, Rang Bana Rahe. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, growing legacies since 1820. Century HTF Premium Plus, Hare Bhote ka asli boss.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Pro-Islamic lobby targets Bhagwat's event. Hindu community fights back in New York. Bhagwat in America, wokes get edgy. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
Presented by Amity University, ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally. Berger Paints, Rang Bana Rahe. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, growing legacies since 1820. Century HTF Premium Plus, Hare Bhote ka asli boss. Thank you for joining us here on Republic TV, ladies and gentlemen. We have a big story here on Republic. If you're wondering what caused the floods in Nepal, You will be shocked to know that there is a conspiracy right now, and that conspiracy is being engineered from China. As China tries to put the blame completely on Nepal. Can you believe it? The avalanche itself happens in China. The waters come downstream from China. The floods ravage Nepal. The waters reach India. It comes from China, Nepal, and then India. And China is saying it happened in Nepal because they're trying to hide something. We'll tell you what they're trying to hide. All that and more in the next 30 minutes. Here are the headlines. $359 dead in the Nepal flash floods. The number could be much bigger. $285 Indians missing. Large chunk of them were pilgrims. The search continues. Republic is live from Nepal. We have 8 reporters on the ground getting you the ground report and the aftermath of what exactly happened in Nepal. China's conspiracy to hide the truth. They're trying to blame Nepal for the mudslide. They're trying to hide the avalanche truth. IF dispatches aid. India sends over 50 tons of relief and rescue material to Nepal in this hour of need. So, ladies and gentlemen, on the show this evening, while we are going to go across straight to Nepal, where we are reporting live from the banks of the Trishuli River, we have some pictures that show you the extent of the damage, of what exactly happened on the banks of the Trishuli River right across the country of Nepal. Let us show you some pictures. These are satellite images, and different satellite firms are now starting to release the pictures of the before and after flooding that started in China, that originated in China and moved into Nepal. Let me show you the pictures, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the images. This is a pre-flooding image, and that's the flooding image. Let me start with this picture. This is the Betravati River, and this was a picture pre-flooding, and look at the extent. This picture shows you the extent of the surge downstream, the avalanche that broke into the Trishuli River and destroyed whatever came in its way. This is one such image, showing you the other pictures that came in, that only gives you an idea of what happens when an avalanche, when an ice avalanche measuring almost 2 by 2 kilometers, and it's like an entire mountain of ice falling into the river and just ramming everything that comes in its way. This is in Bidur, Nepal. Take a look at this. This is, by the way, this is a 3D video that shows you where it originated. This glacial collapse that started in Gairong town of China. Started in Gairong town of China. This is a glacial collapse. The glacier itself was in Chinese territory, the Tibetan Autonomous Region, as they call it, controlled by China. And it came downstream. It came downstream all the way to the Gairong post. Now, if you saw the video yesterday of the border outpost, there was a border outpost of China. You saw the building and the waters just ramming in. This is that border outpost, and the waters came in all the way from China, rammed into the border outpost and went into Nepal. Now, what this image also tells you is that the river, you see the river streams, what China did is they constructed such hydel projects, and they had massive constructions like this one, along the way, along the river. They tried to obstruct the path of a river. This is just one of the many things that China has continued to do over the years, and they are now making others pay the price of it. The price that is being paid is a large one. And take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the glacial collapse, and if there is one defining picture that tells you the extent of it. This is before the avalanche. We have got satellite images from Planet Labs that has released the picture. Planet Labs has shown pre-flooding, what happened one day before, and this is a glacier. This is an ice glacier, entire ice glacier of a mountain, and let's show you what happens immediately after the avalanche. Immediately after the avalanche, this was the picture. The entire ice from top of the mountain had just broken and rolled down into the rivers. Let's show you the before after once again. Let's show you the before picture, the before satellite image. The satellite image before the avalanche, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I'd like to show you that picture. Look at that. That's a mountain, and that's a huge chunk of ice measuring almost 1.7 kilometers into 2 kilometers, 1.7 kilometers into 2 kilometers, and all of that just fell. What caused the ice avalanche? Many people are asking what caused the ice avalanche, and what exactly is China trying to hide when it says it didn't happen on its soil? Why would China even deny that the avalanche didn't happen on Chinese territory? Now, these are some questions we have, and we have some reports from Nepal. I want to show you one more video, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you the video as we take you through the details of the Nepal flash floods. And look at this. This is a glacier. There is a part of a glacier that just fell into the waters. And look at that. For a glacier that size to be washed down, look at that. That's an ice rock that just flowed down the Trishuli River. Mountains flowed down. Sarthak is live. I'd like to go across to him. We are live from Nepal this evening. It's a little dark now there, but he was live at the Trishuli River, on the banks of the Trishuli River, showing you how many houses were just submerged. Almost 2 floors, 3 floors in some of those buildings. Sarthak, you're live there. You were at the Trishuli Army Base. I saw you live there. I know there's very little light behind you, but tell us what you've seen, and if you can show us any of what's happening behind you. We'd like to hear from you of what you have seen in the course of your reporting in Nepal so far.
Well, Niranjan, a few minutes ago, we were at the banks of the Trishuli River, where we were covering the live aftermath of the flash floods. However, a few minutes ago, we were told to evacuate the place because we have been told that the danger still persists. It's not over yet, and there is there are high chances that things could get back to as they were up until yesterday. There was a massive flash flood yesterday, massive destruction in particular areas, including Rasuwa, Timure, Dunche, Mailang. This is something that we have exclusively received. We even spoke to the locals over here who informed us that Rasuwa is that one specific region which has been massively destroyed and devastated because of this flood. However, we have also we've been trying to reach the destination. We have been told that the roads have been blocked completely. Some roads have been naturally blocked because of the avalanche and because of the landslides. It's nearly impossible to reach to that spot, and some places have been blocked by the army because of, as I mentioned before, the danger still persists, and therefore we were also told a few minutes ago to evacuate that place, and we're still trying to fetch more details on this. However, the latest that we have received that 336 people have been rescued by the Nepali army. We were at the army base as well, the Trishula army base, where we had captured some exclusive footages of army rescuing some people. They were airlifting people from these flood-struck areas. So as of now, what in the latest information that we have received, that it's not the end, the danger still persists, and therefore we were also told to evacuate the place. Rasua happens to be the center point which continues to persist danger, and we are tracking and fetching more details on this, Ranjan.
Okay, now I have a few details also coming in. You sent us a report. If I have a report of Sartak from the army base or the Trishuli River, I will play that report out as we get some breaking news. The Tibetan government in exile, very interesting developments now. What we've been saying since this morning, what experts have been opining, that it is China that is to blame. Tibetan government has said, Tibetan government in exile has said that for many years, Dalai Lama has repeatedly issued guidance. They claim that China is carrying out destructive activity. That China has been carrying out environmentally destructive activities under the pretext of development, causing temperatures to rise at a double rate. These days, the Chinese government is openly and relentlessly expanding projects across the Himalayan range, justified as green energy sources, including construction of reservoirs, dams, solar power projects, railway linking projects, and these irresponsible actions are inflicting severe harm on humanity as a whole. This is not a time to remain silent in the face of circumstances that could lead to even graver dangers ahead. An extremely strong statement coming in from the Tibetan government in exile, which is showing China the mirror for its rampant construction across the Himalayas, saying that they had warned China, and that despite the warning, China continued to construct. I'm playing a report from Sartak now. Sartak was live at the banks of the Trishuli River and also at the Trishuli Air Base, where the rescue operation is focused right now. Let's play that out.
We were at the Trishula army base, where there was massive rescue operation going on. You can see the visuals. The helicopters are still flying by. People are being rescued. I would also request my video journalist to pan the camera and just show our viewers what is left after the flash flood has completely destroyed this area. You can see the buildings have been completely destroyed. There is massive destruction that can be witnessed. You can see that this place, this entire area has been completely destroyed. You can see the leftover sediments, the high flood marks still left. You can see right over there. What has this flash flood caused? Buildings have destroyed. We can see trucks stuck under the mud. We can see how massive this entire flash flood must have been. The sediments give us that evidence, how destructive and how devastating this flash flood must have been. We even got the opportunity to speak to some of the locals over here who told us that it was very difficult. Some people got stuck over there. They were rescued immediately. Some people were stuck in a different region. However, we are giving you a top visual exclusively on Republic TV's camera. We are the first one to capture this top angle shot of what is left of the flash flood. The sediments, the high flood marks that you can see, the destruction that you can witness on our camera.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as we stay on that report, and for a moment, I'm taking you back to the breaking news update of what the Tibetan government in exile has said. I want to play out what the Tibetan government in exile has said because it's extremely critical. The Tibetan government in exile has put out a statement, and I'm going to read out that statement right now. It is extremely critical. They have warned of more destruction, saying that for more than 5 decades, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has repeatedly issued guidance on the need to protect the global environment in general and Tibet's natural environment in particular. And despite the continuous efforts of the Central Tibetan administration to draw the attention of the international community to Tibet's environment, only a small number of environmental protection organizations have responded. On the Tibetan plateau, the Chinese government has been carrying out various environmentally destructive activities under the pretext of development, causing temperatures to rise at a doubled rate. And these days, the Chinese government is openly and relentlessly expanding projects across the Himalayan range, justified as green energy sources, including construction of reservoirs, dams, solar power projects, railway linking projects. These irresponsible actions are inflicting severe harm on humanity as a whole. This is not a time to remain silent in the face of circumstances that could lead to even graver dangers ahead. Tibetan government warning of graver dangers ahead. So, when you speak of the Chinese conspiracy, ladies and gentlemen, let me take you to the China angle. Now, China is trying to hide this truth. Now, it's not accidental. It's not accidental that China tries to dodge the blame and blame Nepal, saying that it's not an avalanche but a mudslide. Look at the wordings of China. And let me tell you what the Chinese media has been reporting. The state-controlled, state-run Chinese media has the entire day, all of today and last evening, have tried to claim it's not an avalanche, but it's a mudslide that originated in Nepal. Can you believe it? The whole world is reporting that this is an avalanche, and even experts know that we all know the origin of this started in China. But look at the Chinese media. Xinhua, run by Chinese government, controlled by Chinese government, has blamed Nepal for the mudslide, saying missing after a mudslide in Nepal caused casualties at the Gairong border port. This is just Xinhua. Let me show you the other state-run media houses in China. Some more, let's play the others, please. This is Xinhua. I'm going to show you what CGTN is reporting. This is state-run CGTN. CGTN also saying that Xi Jinping has ordered all our efforts to search for and rescue people who are missing after mudslide in Nepal. Look at it. They're calling it mudslide in Nepal. So the handout in China to the Chinese media is blame it on Nepal. Say that it's a mudslide that happened in Nepal and it never happened in China. And this is the Global Times, also state control, the state media, state-run media in China, that says devastating mudslide originating on the Nepalese side. Can you believe it? Look at the words of the Chinese state media after an avalanche in China. It is devastating, ladies and gentlemen, to say the least. And in a few minutes from now, we'll be joined by the DRDO chief. Dr. Satish Reddy is joining us live. Dr. Satish Reddy will be joining us any minute now, and he will also talk about it. Okay, look at this. This is another state council. The Chinese State Council is also blaming Nepal. The Chinese State Council claims mudslide in Nepal caused casualties. So if you look at the key wording from all the Chinese state-run media, there is an attempt to blame Nepal for it and to call it a mudslide and nothing more than a mudslide. Now, that is extremely, extremely sly of China, because they know that this has happened in their territory, in areas that they control. In fact, let me show you that one video, the one video of the Chinese outpost. And that video itself is a giveaway. When you look at the map of the Nepal-China border, if we show you the video of the China outpost, that's where many Indian pilgrims also were. That was the immigration center where at least 200 of them, by the way, look at that. The glacial collapse happened from the China, that is Chinese territory, and moved through the Gairong town, came down the Trishuli River. The avalanche led by the flash floods just came down the Trishuli River, and that's the Gairong post. And when you speak of the Gairong post, that Gairong post, I want to show you the video of the Gairong post. Take a look at the Gairong post video, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Gairong post. This is the Gairong post, and right behind, the waters gush in from China, ram into this entire building, and this entire structure is now covered in mud. And we don't know how many thousands were buried underneath it. I have with me right now Dr. G. Satish Reddy. Dr. G. Satish Reddy is the former DRDO chief, and he's been studying what has happened. Dr. Reddy, good evening. You've been studying what is happening. I think your camera is, okay, your camera is fine. You've been studying what's happening. Now, I was only reporting that Chinese state-run media is claiming it is a mudslide that originated in Nepal. That is the narrative across CGTN, Xinhua, Global Times. But sir, the whole world knows the avalanche started in China. Can you tell our viewers where this started and what you've been able to study, sir, in the last few hours?
No, from the informations what have come, because I've been traveling today. I've been basically here in Tibet, and I've been here the last. In fact, actually, I started and came to Nepal on 18th, and then crossed over the same point. I then went to Kirong, and then I did the immigration there itself. And then went across, and I was there in Manasarovar, and then we were doing the parikrama when this news came, and then traveled and came to Tibet in Saga. I am here. I do not know. I don't have the exact information, but what has been heard, what has been some news have been coming up is that there have been particularly this is a monsoon season, and so there has been a lot of huge rock avalanche has been there, and which has created a lot of impact. And then along with that, there have been small water bodies, and this along with the slush and the rocks and everything, and with the changing of the altitudes, has been flushing out like with a very high speed and traveled, and so it had a heavy kinetic energy. And then so what all were there on the way and has impacted it in a big way. This is what is right now heard. I wouldn't be able to confirm it to you because I've been traveling. I couldn't really get onto the information. A lot of informations have been coming in, but this is what. So see, primarily there have been in the Himalayan region, whether the Indian side or in the Tibetan side or in the Nepalese side, there have been a lot of glaciers, and particularly in the monsoon season, and otherwise also the melting of these things in the region have caused a lot of problems, whether what we had the problem in 2013 or what the problem we had in 2021, Kedarnath, Tapovan related things, and then the present. These are all the phenomenon what are happening in the Himalayan region out of the weather changes and everything. And we need to have in all the region a good early warning systems. Even though the reaction time is very small, but then the people can be evacuated. Even if you have 10 minutes, 15 minutes, a warning system is there, then the people can be moved out. This sort of a things can happen. So what is important is making early warning systems is very important in this region, whichever country it is, and these things needs to be incorporated so that we don't have the loss of primarily these human lives loss.
Sir, I was just reading out what the Tibetan government said. The Tibetan government in exile, and you're in Tibet, sir, I hope you're safe, and I hope everybody who is with you is safe, wherever you are. But the Tibetan government...
All are safe, yeah.
So you're
all
safe,
are safe. All 31 people are safe, and we have traveled back. We had our good darshan parikrama, and all of us come back, and then we are waiting for our exit route. Okay. And the government should be giving the clarity today on the exit route, and tomorrow morning we again start the journey, and wherever the exit point we go there and cross over to Nepal and go.
Yeah, so the point I was making is the Tibetan government in exile has just released a statement, and I'm reading out. They have said on the Tibetan plateau that the Chinese government has been carrying out various environmentally destructive activities under the pretext of development, causing temperatures to rise at a doubled rate. These days, the Chinese government is openly, relentlessly expanding projects across the Himalayan range, justified as green energy sources, including construction of reservoirs, dams, solar power project, railway linking project. These irresponsible actions are inflicting severe harm on humanity as a whole. This is a Tibetan government in exile. So it's not a secret, sir. We knew that China's having this massive infrastructure build-up in the Himalayas. Many have called it a ticking time bomb, confirming that this happened in a region where there was construction. 13 hydel power projects have been washed out yesterday. Would you say that this is a possibility today? This is why it could have happened, one of the reasons.
I think a greater study is required to look into the whole of the region, because it has been happening across the region. We need to look at whether global warming or the various infrastructure activities taking place there, or otherwise whatever the activities happening are the reason for these things. We need to have a greater study. In fact, a clear geological study also need to be carried out. And then, as I said, technologically, you need to have a proper early warning systems to be incorporated in this region.
Yeah. My last question to you, sir. You're very outspoken, and that is why I'm asking you this question. I know you're sitting on Chinese territory technically now. When China says it happened or it originated in Nepal, And when we have information of the exact region of the ice avalanche and the glacial collapse that took place, is there any doubt in your mind that this originated in Chinese territory?
I wouldn't be able to comment because I have not studied. I've been traveling. I didn't have net and information access on that, and it's not proper for me to comment on that without a clear clarity in my mind and what exactly happened, where it is originated, and all that. Because lots of news have been coming. Some from where some U.S. agency has given is earthquake with a magnitude of 5.2, but it is not earthquake. All of us know, and then a lot of information have been coming. I think I want to hold on that. Till I get a proper information.
Okay, I respect that, sir. I respect that. Thank you, sir, and I hope you're safe, and I hope you get back safe to Delhi. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so that's the DRDO chief who's in Tibet. He said that even he was there for pilgrimage with a group of 31 people, and he's now safe. He's in Tibet, waiting to cross over to Nepal and come to India. But ladies and gentlemen, the story here is about the narrative that is trying to be built by the Chinese government and the Chinese state media, putting it on Nepal, saying that it originated in Nepal. It's a pathetic attempt, especially during a time of humanitarian crisis. That's it on the show. Thanks for watching.
Co-powered by Century HTF Premium Plus, हरे बोट का असली बॉस।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
पापा।
सॉरी यार, गलती हो गई है। ये चोट खर्चा वर्चा।
अरे लास्ट बॉल पे छक्का भी तुम्हारा।
छक्का?
सब कैशलेस हो गया है। हाँ।
ला भाई मेरा बैट। वो अभी तो ठीक हुआ तू।
अभी तो डिस्चार्ज हुआ यार।
बैट किसका है?
टाटा AIG है तो भरोसा है।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
ऑक्टोरोमा मैनुअल वाइंडिंग 4 लोगों के पास है ये।
कुछ इससे भी अनोखा।
कमला पसंद, सिर्फ एक अनोखा स्वाद। कमला पसंद पान मसाला।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट।
अब बताओ स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
I wake up wearing someone else again. Don't let it slip. I don't wanna be safe anymore. Underneath there's a
Finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
AU करंट अकाउंट के साथ मिलता है फ्री UPI QR ओवरड्राफ्ट फैसिलिटी और एक ही ऐप से बैंक के सारे काम। AU
सोच बदलो और बैंक भी।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट।
स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चंकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
बेस्ट हरा बोर्ड दिखाना। सबसे डिपेंडेबल सेंचुरी HDF प्रीमियम प्लस।
ट्रायल लूंगा।
श्योर। वाटर रेजिस्टेंट है, स्ट्रॉन्ग है, हाई डेंसिटी वुड फाइबर स्ट्रक्चर, एडवांस जर्मन एडहेसिव बॉन्डिंग, सॉलिड डिफेंस। ट्रायल में पास। सेंचुरी के 40 सालों का भरोसा, हरे बोर्ड का असली बॉस।
सुनो गौर से दुनिया वालों, बुरी नजर ना हम पे डाल, चाहे जितना जोर लगा लो सबसे आगे अब है हिंदुस्तानी। हिंदुस्तानी कम ऑन, हिंदुस्तानी, हिंदुस्तानी कम ऑन एवरीबॉडी, हिंदुस्तानी, हिंदुस्तानी।
Co-powered by Century HTF Premium Plus, हरे बोट का असली बॉस।
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो।
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
Electricity bill paid.
Really?
Your mobile recharge is done.
How?
Make all kinds of payments using the Bheem Payments app and get cashback of up to ₹300 every month. Use Bheem app to pay.
It's the Mahi way.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
हनी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
I wake up wearing someone else again. Don't let it slip. I'm losing grip. I don't wanna be safe anymore. Underneath there's a
Finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। अब बताओ, स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
पापा।
सॉरी यार, गलती हो गई है। ये चोट खर्चा वर्चा।
अरे लास्ट बॉल पे छक्का भी तुम्हारा।
छक्का?
सब कैशलेस हो गया है। हाँ।
ला भाई मेरा बैट। वो अभी तो ठीक हुआ तू।
डिस्चार्ज हुआ यार।
बैट किसका है?
टाटा AIG है तो भरोसा है।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ।
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
बड़े बड़े इम्तिहानों से गुजरता है, वक्त तराशता है जिसे, तो जाने क्या क्या न करता है। जब तक खुशबू सबसे बेहतरीन न बन जाए, आराम के लिए नहीं ठहरता है। जब तक लाजवाब न बन जाए, उसे नहीं इत्मीनान है। तभी तो रिचमंड बनना नहीं आसान है।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चंकी चाट।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Meta has agreed to pay as much as $16.68 billion to settle claims that Facebook.
Very warm welcome, viewers. You're watching Republic and Rakshita Mishra with you, and Nepal is battling the devastating flood crisis. Swollen rivers have wreaked havoc across several districts and left hundreds of people unaccounted for. Rescue operations intensify. India stepped in with humanitarian assistance. The Nepalese army continues its massive operations to reach those stranded in the worst hit areas.
Nepal is battling a massive flood disaster following a glacial landslide. The Bhote, Koshi and Trishuli rivers have swollen, triggering devastating floods across several districts. Rasuwa, Nuwakot, Dhading, Gorkha and Chitwan are among the worst hit areas. One of the satellite images, Betrivati's before and after the floods, show the devastating scale of destruction, with entire stretches of the area completely washed away. And as Nepal battles its worst hour, India is among the first to stand by its neighbor. India has dispatched second aircraft carrying 37.5 tons of humanitarian assistance and disaster relief material to flood-hit Nepal.
2 aircraft
with humanitarian assistance have been sent to Kathmandu. A C-130J aircraft took off yesterday at around 8:30 p.m. carrying 10 tons of relief material including temporary shelters, blankets, hygiene kits, solar lamps, medicines, etc.
India's paramilitary force NDRF's Inspector General Narendra Singh Bundela categorically states that India continues to support Nepal's ongoing rescue and relief operations.
Government of India is already providing humanitarian assistance in terms of relief materials, which may include eatables and blankets, tents, utensils, clothing. These are basic materials which are required during such situation. And apart from that, we are providing medicines and medical equipments also. And we are keeping NDRF as reserve just in case if it is required to be deployed if Government of India takes a decision.
Not just Nepal, Indian states of UP and Bihar are also in high alert.
State governments and UP and Bihar has already reviewed the situation and the likely impact in India, and CWC is sharing the information regarding the flow of water. So considering those inputs, the community has been sensitized by the state government. Additional deployment of NDRF has already been done.
Among the 300 Indians missing, around 80 are from Isha Foundation. While talking about the missing persons, Isha Foundation founder Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev broke down and has urged authorities to allow him to visit Girong along with volunteers as rescue and relief efforts continue.
At 9:05, we received a message from the group leader, who is Aishanga Praveen, who's been with us. At 9:05, he sent a message that they have arrived at the immigration. After that, this happened at 9:14. And Praveen, who was leading the team, who has been with us for more than 2 decades, is a full-time Ishanga with us. And we noticed that his Nepal phone did not come active through the… If he had crossed over, his Nepal phone should have come active. It did not come.
The Nepal Tourism Board says 644 tourists remain unaccounted for. Out of the hundreds of missing persons include about 47 Americans, 33 from the UK and 34 Australians. This has prompted international responses to kick in, with the United States pledging $500,000 in emergency aid for Nepal. The Nepal government has intensified search, rescue and relief operations. The Nepali army is leading rescue efforts using helicopters and teams on the ground.
Now, the devastating flash floods have left the communication lines severely disrupted, and even as the Ministry of External Affairs have stepped up the efforts on rescue and relief operations, MEA has confirmed that at least 285 now in nationals remain uncontactable. They are missing. 73 of them are workers at the Trishuli 1 power project. Several of them are the Kailash Mansarovar pilgrims, just like the ones who are from Isha Foundation. There are other groups who have also traveled via that have been chosen by the MEA, and some from the agencies, private agencies also. Now, 200 Indians roughly are stranded seeking evacuation on the Chinese side, including 80 pilgrims of Sadhguru's Isha Foundation. MEA has established 24/7 control rooms to coordinate the cross-border tracking and rescue operations. Here's more.
The rescue efforts for Indians caught in the Nepal floods is intensifying as the scale of the crisis becomes bigger with each passing day. The MEA said about 288 Indian nationals remain uncontactable in Nepal, with authorities working to establish their whereabouts.
As per information currently available, there are 288 Indian nationals who remain uncontactable. These include 73 Indian nationals who are working on Trishuli 1 power project. Our embassy in Kathmandu is in touch with the project head to get more details about these people. As you well understand, that communication lines in that area, they are totally disrupted.
The missing Indians include workers and multiple groups of pilgrims who had traveled to the region for the Kailash Manasarovar Yatra. While the largest identified group comprises 73 workers at the Trishul 1 power project.
So the first group of 73 people who are working on Trishuli 1 power project, then two separate groups of 37 and 49 nationals from Tamil Nadu, Indian nationals from Tamil Nadu, who travelled for Kailash Manasarovar Yatra through Samrat and Fly Everest Travels. These are two separate travel agents.
The list also extends to Indians from across the country, with communication still disrupted across several areas hit by the floods. There is, however, a breakthrough in the rescue efforts, as 21 Indian nationals from Tamil Nadu have been already brought out safely. But hundreds more remain caught in the wider disaster zone.
1300 hours today, we have been able to rescue 21 Indian nationals. These 21 group of 21 people are from Tamil Nadu, and we are making available their names on our X handle, so you can get the details. Our embassy, our ambassador has spoken to people in the group and have assured all possible help. They are coming to Kathmandu, hopefully, and then arrangements will be made for their travel back home.
Among those caught in the wider disaster is an Isha Foundation group returning from the Kailash Manasarovar pilgrimage. Sadhguru, in an emotional video, said 80 members are unaccounted for in Tibet, with communications cut off from the affected areas.
This happened at 9:14, and Praveen, who was leading the team, who has been with us for more than 2 decades, is a full-time Ishanga with us, and we noticed that his Nepal phone did not come active through the… If he had crossed over, his Nepal phone should have come active. It did not come.
The MEA says connectivity with Kathmandu remains intact, but reaching the upper districts is the immediate challenge.
तो वहाँ पर जो लोग काठमांडू आए, काठमांडू से तो लगातार यहाँ हम लोग कनेक्टिविटी है, तो उस माध्यम से वो लोग आ जाएंगे हमारे यहाँ, कोई उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं होनी चाहिए। समस्या है कि वहाँ से जो ऊपर के जो जिले हैं जहाँ पर ये त्रासदी हुई है, वहाँ से कैसे लोगों को निकाला जाए।
For now, the operation centers on locating the uncontactable, evacuating the stranded, and bringing them back safely.
And viewers, as Nepal reels from the devastating floods that have killed at least 359, left over 600 missing, there's a crucial question that we are asking, and everybody is, in fact, raising the red flag on. What really triggered this catastrophe? Could have been avoided? Is China trying to shift the blame? Well, Chinese construction activities are now under scanner. The US Geological Survey revised its initial assessment, making it clear that the seismic event was not an earthquake, but it was instead a glacial collapse that triggered the massive debris flow. While Chinese state media shifts blame onto Nepal and calls it a mudslide in Nepal, India has meanwhile rushed its aid as rescue operations continue. Take a look.
Is the Chinese construction responsible for the disaster that occurred in Nepal? A blame game has now started between Nepal and China. Several hours after the deadly glacial fluvial outburst reported on the China-Nepal border, USGS has now confirmed that the deadly floods was indeed a glacial collapse triggered flash floods and was never an earthquake. In a statement, USGS revised its earlier findings to say it was not an earthquake, but the landslide created an activity like an earthquake, which further led to the outburst. Later, China, in an attempt, started a blame game. China rejected claims about not warning Nepal about the deadly disaster. Chinese media, in an attempt to shift the avalanche blame to Nepal, reported that the mudslide started on Nepal's side. Rescue operations are on as a deadly wall of floods gushed into Nepal, causing great destruction across the Himalayan country. The death toll has risen to 165, while over 644 remained missing in the horrifying flash floods. While Bihar and Uttar Pradesh remain on high alert as water level continues to swell in Bagaha-Gandak River.
All the districts in the Gandak River might be impacted. So CWC is already monitoring it. So far, we have not received any adverse input.
Final question, sir. What are the total number of teams that are being deployed in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh collectively? And what is the situation that is the most concerning to you?
Bihar, we have 9 deployments for reserve for teams in terms of team. And affected area in Koshi, we have deployed 1. But overall, we have 11 teams in UP.
With hundreds still missing, an entire region devastated, the race for survivor continues as Nepal battles the aftermath of one of its deadliest floods.
As rescue operations continue in Nepal, Republic is on ground zero with the largest crew, bringing you the latest from the flood-ravaged region, as India's rescue and relief assistance also is rushed in to its neighbor.
Oh my God, Mario.
Hundreds of lives swept away in Nepal. The death toll has crossed 300, while thousands remain missing.
Appeared to be an earthquake turned out to be a glacier breakdown which caused this massive blockade of Trishuli river, which has eventually affected in this massive flood which has completely destroyed the nearby infrastructure, has taken a lot of lives. What the reports that we are coming across is that nearly 200 Indians are also missing. Multiple people have lost their lives.
Republic is reporting live from Nepal, bringing you the latest on the devastating floods. A glimpse of the devastation that has struck Nepal can be seen near the river in Chitwan.
जिस जगह पर मैं मौजूद हूं ये चितवन है और चितवन के अलग अलग हिस्सों में जाकर मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूं कि उन लोगों से बातचीत कर सकूं, समझ सकूं कि आखिर ये जो 64 से डेड बॉडीज का आंकड़ा जो है उसके बाद बढ़कर 100 से ज्यादा पार हो गया है। तो ऐसे में वो कौन से इलाके प्रभावित रहे हैं जहां पर ये पूरी घटना हुई है, त्रासदी आई है, तो ऐसे में उन हिस्सों में जाने की भी मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूं। और
Large scale destruction can be seen at the India-Nepal border.
मैं मौजूद हूँ ये गौतम बुद्ध सेतु है और कुशीनगर और बगहा के बीच ये पुल है जो बगहा यहाँ से 20 किलोमीटर दूर, और मेरे पीछे आप यहाँ देख सकते हैं गंडक का उफान, ये रौद्र रूप यहाँ दिखने लगा है, अगले 24 घंटे भारी हैं। लेकिन सबसे बड़ी बात क्या है, ये जो आप मलबा देखिए, ये मलबा जो बहकर आया है ये वही नेपाल से बहकर आया है। इसमें मैं आपको दिखा सकता हूँ, मुझे नजर आ रहे हैं कई मवेशियों के शव हैं।
Republic explains how the floods occurred, not an earthquake, but a massive glacial collapse, as ice, snow and rocks came crashing down the Himalayan slopes.
According to the preliminary assessment, this entire trouble began yesterday near the Nepal-China border. Initially, authorities reported that there was a 4.4 magnitude earthquake, but as per the USGS, the US Geological Survey later analyzed this seismic data and the satellite images, and they said that this was not an earthquake. This signal was linked to a glacier collapse, which caused a massive debris flow. In simple terms, if I have to explain this, there was ice, there was snow and rocks that came crashing down from the Himalayan slopes.
In a moment, the sheer force of debris turned into deadly wall of water, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake.
And viewers, with that's a wrap in this edition of the news. But on the other side, we have the debate with Arnab Goswami at 8 p.m. Is China responsible for what has happened in Nepal, viewers, and how the Chinese construction activities are now under scanner? It could be a threat for India also. We'll get you more on that.
Co-powered by Crystal Crop Protection, देश का किसान, देश का हीरो।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
आलू चाट या फ्रूट चाट,
स्वाद बढ़ाए चमकी चाट।
क्या बात है? स्वादिष्ट पकोड़े और परेशान, अरे चमकी चाट है इसकी जान।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
कुछ तो सस्ता लो,
सब बढ़िया लो,
इसमें क्या खास बात है?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
I wake up wearing someone else again. Don't let it slip. I'm losing grip. I don't wanna be safe anymore.
Finding myself. That's my moment of Sarah.
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट। ड्राई फ्रूट और दही बड़े। चमकी चाट से स्वाद बढ़े।
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
बड़े बड़े इम्तिहानों से गुजरता है, वक्त तराशता है जिसे, जो जाने क्या क्या न करता है। जब तक खुशबू सबसे बेहतरीन न बन जाए, आराम के लिए नहीं ठहरता है। जब तक लाजवाब न बन जाए, उसे नहीं इत्मीनान है। तभी तो रिचमैन बनना नहीं आसान है।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरीडे।
पापा
सॉरी यार, गलती हो गई है। ये चोट खर्चा वर्चा।
अरे लास्ट बॉल पे छक्का भी तुम्हारा।
छक्का?
सब कैशलेस हो गया है। हाँ।
ला भाई मेरा बैट। वो अभी तो ठीक हुआ तू।
अभी तो डिस्चार्ज हुआ यार।
बैट किसका है?
टाटा AIG है तो भरोसा है।
चमकी चाट से क्या बना है?
सैंडविच, लस्सी और छाछ।
हर घूंट में चमकी चाट।
अब बताओ, स्वाद आया?
असली स्वाद सिर्फ चमकी चाट।
अभी तक की जो स्थिति है, घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है, सिर्फ सतर्क रहना है। रात भर हमारे अधिकारी चौकस रहेंगे और उम्मीद है कि स्थिति नियंत्रण से बाहर नहीं जाएगी।
इतनी बड़ी संख्या में लोग बह गए हैं, अभी उनका कुछ पता नहीं है कि जिंदा हैं या मर चुके हैं। और बिहार उस जो कि नेपाल उस एरिया से जुड़ा हुआ है, तो बिहार पर खतरा है और बिहार सरकार को अलर्ट हो जाना चाहिए उसका, ऐसा नहीं कि उसका असर हमारे यहाँ पड़े। लेकिन वो तो अफसोस की बात है, दुख की बात है। इस वक्त इतनी बड़ी जो हानि हुई है, हम लोग को चाहिए, भारत को चाहिए कि उनकी पूरी इस क्राइसिस में उनकी मदद करे।
अब इसमें कौन सी नई खबर? हर साल बिहार में बाढ़ की संकट मंडराती है, बिहार में बाढ़ आता है, सरकार बाढ़ के नाम पर लिपापोती करती है, फिर अगले साल बाढ़ आएगा।
का फटा, उसका पानी जो तेजी से आ रहा था, उसके मद्देनजर हम लोगों ने पूरी तैयारी मुस्तैदी से कर ली है। और अभी तक की जो उम्मीद है कि वो पानी, अभी हम लोगों को उम्मीद है कि अभी 7 बजे हम बात कर रहे हैं, 8:30-9 बजे तक हमारे वाल्मीकि नगर बराज पर तक पहुंचने की उम्मीद है। हर साल गंडक में आता है और हम लोगों ने पूरे वहां के लोगों को, आम जनता को भी बता दिया है कि सतर्क रहना है, घबराने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। स्थिति ऐसी नहीं है अभी तक जो दिख रहा है। वैसे पानी और मौसम का कोई नहीं जानता है कल क्या होगा, लेकिन अभी तक की जो स्थिति है, घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है, सिर्फ सतर्क रहना है। हम लोगों ने अलग से टीम बना के मुख्यालय से भी वहां भेज दिया है वाल्मीकि नगर। रात भर हमारे अधिकारी चौकस रहेंगे।
हमने प्रेस रिलीज भी जो है दिया है, सोशल मीडिया पे भी हमने अपनी बात को रखा है। और बिहार में भी जो है कई जगह जल स्तर जो है, चाहे गंगा नदी हो